Hello ladies and gents, welcome to the new night point of view driving review. In front of us is the new Kia EV2. If I unlock it, you're going to see very nice and bright LED headlights. Maybe a little bit too bright if I'm standing right in front of them. So let me move to the side. Now we have here the Sky trim, which is the top trim for the standard range battery, which is an LFP. It's a 41 kilowatt hour usable, and this should give you 300 plus kilometer range. Now you can also go for the long range battery, which is an NMC, but this one is the LFP. It's better. It has double the cycles, and it's less degradation through time. We're sitting on 18-inch alloys. You can also spec 16. In that case, you would get more comfort, a little bit more range, but the suspension is pretty good. It's on the comfier side, so it doesn't matter if you have 18-inch. The ride comfort is great. Also, this is a front-wheel drive, so we have electric motor producing 108 kilowatts of power. That's equal to 145 horsepower. Enough for this fairly light EV. Now, this car is just a little over 4 meters long, but it's compact. But when you back up, you actually realize how small it is, or how short. Most cars are like 5 meters or close to 5 meters, but this one's just compact. Now, if I lock it and unlock it, just to show you the back end, you can see the taillights are so low here. I wish they were just here on normal spot where most cars have it, but maybe Kia deliberately made this design like this so we can talk about Kia. Anyways, let's jump inside. So, let's buckle up, start the car. Now, I gotta say that Kia in last 5 or almost 10 years has really stepped a lot in their game, and everything inside this car is so well built. I'm really happy with this car. Now, if you start the car, you can see lights dim down, and you can see the interior at night. This trim does not have ambient lights. I think you need to go for the top trim to get those. Now let's just see if we can play some music, and then we're gonna head out. So just a little demo. Wow, that's a pretty good song. Now the infotainment, I'm not sure why this is showing me this screen. Okay, there's a clock. But you can see here, if you watch the review, you can have a consumption, climate, clock, compass, and so on. Now, the sound system, I wanted to just mention how good it is. It's super good. I can't play this for, copyright reasons, but the sound is good. It's loud, it's deep enough, and I think you can upgrade to, actual labeled speakers. I forgot the brand, but these are the bass speakers. They're pretty amazing, if I'm being honest, and it's pretty cool that you get this in this base model. Excuse me, not base, base battery. Let me just go to home, and I will show you here actually on the display before we head out the consumption. I did mention that in the night review, but you can see here 10 kilowatts. It's now going a little bit up because I was making a night review, but I did my open road simulation driving in normal driving mode, full recuperation between 60 and 80 kilometers per hour, so not too much traffic late night, anticipating when to recuperate for red lights and stop with one pedal driving. And 10 kilowatts, that's pretty impressive consumption. Today I got mixed highway and city around 14, it dropped to 13, but while I was doing the range test, it dropped to 12. Again, very, very impressive. Let me see here if we have the current, so I'm just gonna leave that one for the drive. And anything else? Reverse camera, let me show you that one. Excellent resolution during day and night. It has the projection, and it's pretty awesome. You can hear in the reverse the pedestrian warning. It's a little bit more subtle in drive, and yeah, that's it. So let's head out. So I like the way how Kia made the EV2. It's so light, it feels fast and nippy when you start driving. It is amazing. It has a great overview as well in the car. The 8 pillars, I thought it would be a little bit obstructive, but they're not that bad. And this car is just so smooth thanks to the EV drivetrain, and it just feels so great. The ride comfort, again, 18-inch alloys is so good that you can actually, go for the 18-inch instead of 16 for the looks. But I can imagine even with a 16-inch, it would be just more softer, and it would soak in even better all these imperfections on the road. Because, in some countries, the pavement is not the greatest, Speed bumps. Comfy. Okay, some technical details. Top speed on this car, I tested it off camera. You can do like 167, 168, maybe like 170 tops if you're going downhill, but it just reaches like the software limitation, and it doesn't allow you to continue once you stop going downhill. It's just going to stop at the speed you've reached, and that's going to be it. Now 0 to 100, 8.5, we might test that tonight in this model. And it's interesting that since you have the bigger battery as an option, they've actually decreased the power on the electric motor by 10 horsepower. You do have a bigger battery, you can do potentially 100 kilometers more or so, but otherwise, there's not too much big difference. Now the car is pretty much nice and stable in the bends. It doesn't lean too much, which I really like. I had leap motor, and the Chinese also had BYDs on test. So the Kia this one's built in Europe. I think in Slovakia. The other models might be built, some in South Korea. But Kia isn't like Asian Chinese brands. It has a good suspension. It has a good build quality. And I'm talking about like small refined details, such as like closing sound, door handles, turn signal lever. All of these small details, the steering wheel feel, the seats, they're just top notch. Now 145 horsepower in this EV that doesn't feel heavy. It's just super nice. It feels like you have a really strong petrol with an instant torque. So with this EV, and this is built as a fully electric model, you have all the benefits of an EV drive. I think this is a perfect, compact SUV for urban driving, like city, and then occasional road trips. It is small. The cargo is decent for a compact SUV. But if you have a family, maybe you could, put not a box on the roof, but you can put a box behind on the tow winch. You do have an option for towing as well. But altogether, pretty nice. Let me show you here. You have Apple CarPlay. It works pretty nice. In Croatia, Kia has sacrificed some of the features like the AI voice assistant and navigation, but you can use Waze, so you have that. You can see here the blind spot. This guy is flying. So also, you have a lot of standard equipment in this package, so I would say it's pretty well equipped for the Sky trim. It might variate in other European markets because the importer that's here in Slovenia, Croatia, and some other Balkan countries has different. It's not a classical dealership. They actually buy these cars and they create their own, equipment and packages. They do use the names that you have in the rest of the European countries, but they, tune those trims to the local market. So it might be different from the one you're having in, let's say Germany. Okay, now you can see here I'm driving a little bit faster now. I passed 4 kilometers and consumption is around 14 kilowatts. So that's pretty decent for city driving. It's pretty nice. Now, steering is no, thank you, Siri. Go back. Go. Okay, I'm not sure how she triggered, but the steering is a light. If you go to the sport mode, it is a little bit more feedback, but maybe not enough or as much as I would personally like. In sport mode, the acceleration response is much better. And when you start in normal, I also feel like it's just snippy and fast. And sometimes I just like to drive it in the eco because it's just less response to the throttle from like 0 to 10. If that makes sense, there's like less of a punch. So small differences, but I really like how this car feels and how it drives. I think you're going to be really happy if you're looking at this car, if you are in the market. And comparing it to some of other EVs I've tested recently from the East, I prefer the Kia. Honestly, I do. I prefer this above the Leap motor. BYD is something between Leap motor and Kia, I would say. They're also very good. I'm gonna have after summer a few of the new models like Auto 2. That is something that might compete with this, sort of. It's also small, compact SUV. Stay tuned for that. See, I've changed the driving modes, and I just realized that for some reason the car decided to, I think in the sport mode, it disengages the max recuperation. And I love max recuperation because it's more efficient and you can drive like one pedal. This one has auto hold, but it's like one pedal driving. Now, it is good to sometimes, use those brakes. I haven't used the brakes at all since I got the car, only to maybe like fully stop. And when you fully stop, the car does lean a little bit, but there's no like any sound like in Renault when it stops. In some models, it just like makes a little squeak sound, which is kind of, not annoying, but it feels cheap, And in Kia, it's like, it's perfect. It's nothing. So, altogether, I can't find really too many cons of this car at all so far. It is so well equipped, and these screens look amazing. Now, yes, the AC menu here is a little bit obstructed by the steering wheel, but in reality, you have here buttons. You can see here the temperature. It pops on the bottom. Let me just see if I can. Oh, it even pops here, so it appears and then it goes away above Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, whatever you're using. And it's just, the whole car is so well built. I love these buttons when you press them. They're so nice, and it's just such a great product. I'm trying to think of things. Yeah, you have a heated steering wheel, you have heated front seats, textile seats, pretty comfortable. I would like lumbar support, honestly. I don't mind that these are manual seats. You can get the powered seats in the GT line, but otherwise this car is just so well equipped. Maybe in the top trim you get the front camera for the parking, or maybe maybe 360. I haven't really checked, to be honest, but I'm not sure if anyone's going to buy this in the GT line. But there's, again, they say there's always, every product has its own customers, so there is a chance that someone, you know, might get that trim in the EV2. Okay, I don't see that light. I'm gonna floor it here. We got to 12 kilowatts and now I'm slightly ruining it. I can barely feel these manholes. They finally fixed them after many years, like really deeply synced in or sank in. Man, I think if you buy this EV, I'm just gonna be straightforward. You're gonna enjoy this car so much. It's such a great, altogether, the whole experience, the driving, it just feels so good. And I would say one of the cars that when you sit in and you feel this good is like Tesla. So I'm giving Kia a big compliment. Also Kia and Hyundai. So Kia is part of the Hyundai group, and you know, both of those brands are such a good option if you're not into Tesla but you want an EV. Look at this, so stable thanks to low center of gravity. I'm flooring it here. Now I did speed up in the day point of view in the sport mode, so I'm just gonna slow down here to 100. You can hear the tires, and we have the excellent Hankook Ion Evo tires. These are quite quiet or low noise, but this asphalt is very rough. It's noisy here. So this is like 130. And you know, EV2 is a boxy shaped small SUV. So 130, it's kind of noisy around here, the A-pillars and side mirrors. 150, it's even more noisier. Now we're gonna switch to sport and we're going to hit it here. $130, $150. You can hear its noise. I'm just gonna drop my speed. So we're gonna stick to the speed limits. This is just a little demo. But you know, the car feels pretty nice. In the snow, I felt like the car was just grippier for a moment. I'm not sure if it's a placebo, but that's the way it felt. Now you can engage here let me just switch screens here. You can see here the lanes. You can engage the lane centering. In that case, the car shows you the blind spot, and you can engage. It's telling me I'm not watching the road because I'm watching the screen, obviously, duh. You can play with the distance. So let me just I'm gonna do 120 here. Now, one thing it doesn't have is self-lane change. That would be really cool. So now it's keeping me in the lane. There's no traffic. I'm going to blast the long beam. You can see the long beam, nice and bright. For some reason it doesn't have the auto long beam, but that's fine. I'm going to drop the speed here now. If you hold the speed up or down, it's just going to drop it by 10. So it keeps me in the lane. It's slightly curving to the right, and if I deliberately push it to the right, look at this. It centers you and it keeps you in the lane. So there's no ping pong thing. Works really great. And I haven't been driving too much on the open road, but as far as I've been driving in the city, and with this was disengaged, it wasn't fighting me too much, because just for an example, the Leap Motor B10 was so annoying. It was fighting me all the time when I got like a little bit closer, and that's something you don't want from ADAS features or the driver advanced systems, or these things need to be like this. This is the right way. It's not in the way, it's not fighting you, it's just an assistant, and you can rely on it. Now I'm going to switch it off. I'm going to switch this one off. And I'm not using the brakes at all now. So I'm just letting the car recuperate. Recuperation isn't too strong, but it's enough. You're gonna get a feeling how long it takes for the car to fully stop. And you know, the recuperation in some cars might be heavier, but only if you have more horsepower or like dual electric motors, because then it's double the slowdown force. But this is fine. For this car, it just feels right. It's not, if it's stronger, then it might get nauseous for the passengers, even for the driver sometimes. So this is a perfect balance. And you know, this car, again, it just flies. Okay, no one behind me or in front of me. We're gonna do 0 to 100. Hold the brake, floor the accelerator, and release the brake. Nose up. Brake check. The brakes are good. Let me just try them one more time. Okay, not too grippy. Not too grippy. It feels like it should be a little bit stronger. One more time. Okay, when you punch them in, they're grippy, but from the start, they're not aggressive.
Sharp curves ahead.
Let's talk about prices. This entry model of KIA EV2 starts at 28 in Croatia. There was a 2K less discount for the World Cup, but this specific trim is just almost 32, 100 euro less. So pretty well equipped. But if you get an incentive that you can get in Croatia, if you're lucky, you can deduct 9,000 euros off the price. Yeah, that is a crazy deal. So I think this could be also a very nice car for a cab driver as well, but altogether it's a pretty amazing car and a pretty amazing price. I'm finally happy that we have much affordable EVs on the market that are really well built. Tesla never delivered the promise of a 25k car, but this car can definitely definitely is close to that price, especially if you see the World Cup discount they had. This is the pedestrian warning sound. You can hear that. And then if I stop, reverse, it's a little bit different. You can also see your consumption. It was dropping below 15, so again, very efficient EV. I want to say little. It is a little as a small compact SUV, but it's not that little. These are good chargers here. If you're in Croatia, you got New Zagreb. This is called Avenue Mall shopping mall. It has cinema, has food and everything. So it has AC chargers, so you can come here and charge if you want to kill some time. And this is it, guys and ladies, of course. Time to wrap the review. I always hate when I have to end the review, but I'm trying to keep these videos not too long, and that's it. If I wanted to criticize something on this car, if I'm like nitpicking and I want to have this car perfect, besides the taillights, that I would definitely, if I was a designer, put them on a normal spot. I would change the turn signals. It's just like a little bit slow compared to standard turn signal sound in any other car, but otherwise, again, this car is It's so amazing. I can't say. Okay, this one, again, nitpicking. It would be cool if this was just connected. Not sure why they left it like that. But when you put your arm here, it's still like you can lean or rest it. So it's all good. No worries there. That's it. I'm deliberately leaving my phone here. It's charging, but the car will tell you not to forget one if you are leaving it behind. And that's it. Stay tuned for range test video. I'm just gonna do a little walk around here, and yeah, already said everything about that design, but I really love the front. That's it. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye.